Now, saving the message is actually the most complicated method or thing to do here, but no worries, it's not that complicated in the end. I'll set up a new route here, and this will be a patch route. Patch is a HTTP verb you'll commonly use to change existing data. Put would be an alternative if you want to simply overwrite the existing one. Here we expect the slash route. Again, this has message in front of it automatically. But here I also want to pass the ID as a parameter, the ID of the message we want to work on or we want to update. Then we have the well-known callback function here as we always do. And now inside of here, the job is to use the message object, the message model, to find the message. Now here I can use the handy find by ID method here and then pass the ID, which gets passed as a parameter. So let's access it on request, params, and then ID, the name I chose here in the path. In this case, I'll execute another callback where I either get an error or my message if we do find it. So here first, let's handle the error that we have problems fetching this. In this case, I want to return, well, the same error as always. Let's return this one here. We could also encounter the case that we don't have an error, but message is not found because we don't have that ID. In this case, I also want to return a status code of 500, but let's give it a title of no message found, something like this. And of course also pass the error, though here I don't pass the error object, because remember, error here is only set in the first if block, not necessarily in this one, because we don't have an error, we just don't find the message. So here I will create my own one, and to be consistent about these errors, I later on want to be able to retrieve detailed error messages. The errors thrown by Mongoose, these one here, will contain the message property. Therefore, my custom object here will also get one. This is a good practice to make sure that you're really able to show your errors on the front end and that your errors have a specific format with which you can work on the front end. So here you can enter any error text you want. Here I will simply say message not found, which of course also is the title, but you can make this more detailed. Now the final step is to save or to update this message. So here I want to access message content, since this is the field we're changing, and set it equal to request. And now where is the content of the new message or of the updated message? Well, this is sent in the request body. So a patch request typically has both some data in the path, like the ID parameter, and some data in the body. So let's access request body content for the updated message content. And thereafter I can call message save like I did when creating a new message. Here again, of course, with the callback, the error or the result. And now I can just copy the code from the post route here where I created a new message. We either have an error or we are successful, but I will change the status code to 200 here then. And I'll rename it to updated message. Now this is my backend function, first getting the message, checking for errors and if I actually did get the message, and then changing it, and lastly saving the, well, changed message back to the database. Mongoose will here automatically not create a new one, but simply overwrite the old one, or overwrite the changed fields in the old one to be precise. With this set up, it's time to go back to the front end and hook it up to this backend.